Hi everybody, this is Ben Balden. For the purpose of training and for our builders, I'm going to present this video on the presentation that Jade and I gave, or will give, at the Leadership Retreat 2016 in Australia. This is about compliance. It applies to both audience in Australia and in the United States because it talks mainly about the compliance in general. This is to help you understand compliance and how compliance applies in your business. Again, this is a training video. This isn't meant to share with people who are not building the business, and so I hope you understand and hope you this answers all your compliance questions. It's a big topic, and will take a little bit of work to get your head around, but once you start applying it and using it, it will make sense. Okay, so now compliance, we're going to talk about what compliance is and how it can help you. A lot of people think that compliance is a very scary thing. They get really scared about it, and it doesn't need to be a scary thing. It can actually be a good thing. It can give you guidance as to what to say, and it can actually become your tool to help you share the business in a compliant way. So today's objectives are, we're going to talk about what compliance is, what are the boundaries of compliance, and what are the possibilities, meaning where the boundaries don't hold you back. There's so many things you can do and still remain compliant. So first of all, what is compliance? In this section, we're going to go over the definition of compliance, where compliance came from, and why we need to be compliant, why it's important. A simple definition of compliance is that compliance is sharing dōTERRA products within the limits of the law and the company's policy. So that can be split into two areas, really, the limits of the law and the company's policy. So where did compliance come from? It all happened in 2014 when dōTERRA started to grow astronomical, very quickly. They attracted the attention of the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration of the U.S. government, who visited dōTERRA to ensure that dōTERRA's wonderful products were represented in a way that was mature, legal, and responsible. And this came from dōTERRA themselves. They wanted to make sure that these representations were made properly. So dōTERRA came out with a policy, and in a letter to all of its wellness advocates, outlining the policy of how wellness advocates in dōTERRA need to comply with the law and with the company's policy regarding the use of trademarks and whatnot. So obviously there's two areas that falls into, laws and company policy. All of this compliance idea can be explained by these words in the letter to the wellness advocates, that dōTERRA products are not drugs and may not be promoted to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. No one should make any such claims about their products. And that is what we call approved claims, making claims about the products that are approved. The other larger section of the letter to wellness advocates outlines how you can use dōTERRA. You can and can't use dōTERRA's trademarks. And this is also to protect these products for future generations and to make sure that proper claims are being made about dōTERRA products. So you have to be careful of how you speak about dōTERRA products. That's all that means. So really there's two components here within compliance itself, is using approved claims and using dōTERRA's trademarks in an approved manner. So those of you who are in Australia are thinking, whoa, this is Australia law, how does it apply in Australia? Well, it does apply. Compliance has always applied at some level. It's different, yeah, it's different, but not substantially. The laws are this, are different. The company policy is the same. So you still have company policy no matter where you are in the world. The laws in the United States, for instance, the FTC says that claims must be truthful and not misleading. The FDA permits claims, disease claims, that is, only for drugs. So this governs people in the U.S. It governs websites that have .com or .us. So as your teams, those of you who are in Australia, as your teams begin to grow, you'll have people join your team who are in the U.S. and they will be under these laws in the U.S. But the truth is, these laws are everywhere in the world. Australia has its own set of laws. ACCC prohibits false and misleading statements, just like the FTC does. The TGA says marketing must be socially responsible and must not mislead consumers. There are various rules and regulations with TGA, but the basic idea is that under no circumstances should dōTERRA products be likened unto therapeutic goods prescribed for the treatment of specific ailments. So we don't have any specific approved claims from Australia, so the best practice is just use approved claims as we have from the United States. And those of you in the United States, use those approved claims. Only use dōTERRA trademarks as allowed as per company policy, and we're going to go over that. So this is the best practice. These are guidelines from the company to help us in our dōTERRA business. So why do we need to be compliant? Well, first of all, it's the law. Laws are put in place to protect the public, theoretically, and to benefit us. They can benefit us quite a bit. dōTERRA believes in honoring and sustaining the law. I remember at last Global Convention, Greg Cook spoke about the experience of his family living in a country where the rule of law was still developing, and the difficulties that his family faced in simply just buying food to eat. Uncertainty about the claims made of what you are buying is not really something we want in our world. So let us embrace certainty. Laws about what product representatives can claim about their health products, the health products they sell, apply to more than just dōTERRA. Just be confident that as our lawmakers and voting citizens experience the wonderful benefits of dōTERRA's essential oils, that we'll start to see the law start to allow dōTERRA to thrive in a world that's all drugged up. Besides being the law, it's also company policy. We love dōTERRA and we support the company that works hard to bring us these bottled miracles every day. Because we love the company and because we love the people we serve and teach, we'll use approved claims and we'll use dōTERRA's trademark in an approved and responsible way. Alright, so what are the benefits of being compliant? Well, first of all, compliance gives us greater clarity and confidence in making claims. Whereas in the past, wellness advocates have been unsure about what claims they can make, having a list of approved claims direct from the producer which pass legal benchmarks should help us feel empowered to share with confidence, rather than wondering what we should say about what each product does. We can just quote directly from the approved claims list, or prepare documents from the approved claims list. So it gives us greater confidence and clarity. It also improves the experience and expectations of those we teach. Each essential oil is different. We all know that. And so is each individual. We all understand that essential oils sometimes work differently for one person than they will for another person. They won't work in the same way. Some people experience relief with one oil, whereas the next person over doesn't. This is the nature of essential oils, and we're starting to understand the nuances of this. But with this in mind, it can seem deceitful to some people to represent that one product will have such and such effect on anybody who applies that product. So we want to improve people's expectations by representing things in a compliant way, using the approved claims, such as, lemon oil can assist in cleaning and protecting, and supporting our immune system, those sorts of claims. The third benefit here is that being compliant helps preserve these products and this opportunity that we have for future generations. So simply by taking these steps now, the largest essential oil company in the world is ensuring that the essential oil movement will not be hindered by expensive legal battles and imposed government regulatory constraints. It is much better that we regulate ourselves than we allow outsiders to step in and set in stiff regulation requirements. So let's do what we can to stick within what is allowed. I want to read a little bit from the letter that Dave Sterling, the July 2015 letter we quoted earlier. Dave Sterling says that compliance will give us better clarity and clear guidelines. It will be easier to obtain absolute compliance. We hope that these reforms will empower us to speak with greater certainty about the benefits of dōTERRA's amazing products. And our mission is to bring wellness and hope to those in need has not changed. We are taking important steps to preserve the products and opportunities for future generations. Okay, so we've talked about what is compliance. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is what are the boundaries. So in this section we're going to talk about how we can learn the compliance policy, and then we're going to talk about what we can do and what we can't do. And we'll do this in two areas, the area of approved claims and the area of trademark use. So, where do we learn about the compliance policy? Well, all the information is available online at dōTERRA.com. Simply go to dōTERRA.com. You don't even need to log in or anything. Just hover over Our Advocates, click on Building, scroll down to Product Claims. That's where all the information is. There's a list of documents and videos to help you understand compliance. You can read from the policy manual, also found at dōTERRAtools.com. So, we're going to go over a few of these documents that you can find on that webpage. First is dōTERRA's policy letter, July 13th, 2015. This is a letter that outlines the compliance policy. It's very useful for anybody to go over it. I definitely recommend anybody premier rank or above be familiar with this letter and have read it. It outlines the policy, the thinking behind it, the reasoning, and it steps out the policy regarding dōTERRA's trademarks as well. Alright, there's a visual of the compliance policy. This is the different areas online of online marketing and how the compliance policy applies. We're going to go through this in greater detail in a little while, and this is obviously you can download this and view it yourself. Another really important resource is the approved claims list itself. Download this, print it out, you use it in your classes. I carry a copy with me as I go to classes. If someone asks, well, what does this product do? I have a list of things that that product does, and it also has usage suggestions as well. Wonderful resource when you're preparing handouts, when you're preparing materials. It gives you exactly what each product does, what we can say about each product does, instead of making you know, really far-fetched claims. It may have a lot more benefits than is on this list, but these are the things that are approved. Okay. Also, there are many other helpful documents. These are little 1 or 2 page documents that will help you understand better the compliance policy and how you can work it to your advantage. All right. So now we've talked about how to learn about it. We're going to talk about what you can do and what you can't do. And we're going to go through this in 2 areas. Okay. First is approved claims. Now, approved claims, we need to talk about what claims actually are. Claims are talking or writing about the benefits of a product. This includes how this has personally helped you. So giving personal examples is also a claim. A disease claim, which is not permitted, is a claim that is something you say or do that is intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. This is not permitted in any way. An example of this is this oil will cure your leprosy. This is obviously, there's problems with that. If it may just do that. It may just help benefit, you know, get your body healthy to the state where you can overcome cancer or leprosy or whatever. But look, that's not something we can claim. Right, cosmetic claims are things that improve personal appearance. These are absolutely acceptable. You're looking for such words as cleanses the skin, improves appearance, or something like that. So for example, if you say this oil, soluble or immortelle, will help you look more beautiful, that's an approved claim. Anything that has to do with appearance, you can say that. The next are structure function claims, and I promise this is the last claim we're talking about. The structure function claim is anything that helps the body stay healthy or function normally. So if you split the world in half, and on this side you have people who are sick, and on this side you have people who are healthy, you can make all sorts of recommendations to people that are healthy. This will help you maintain your immune support. This will help you improve the clarity of your skin. This will help you anything, you know, if, for instance, getting sore muscles when you work out, that's not a disease or anything. That's a normal function of the body. This will help soothe your aching muscles, for instance. Now, you can make structure function claims as long as you use the disclaimer. And the disclaimer in the United States is, these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent diseases. Look, if you're speaking these claims out loud to a class, just say, look, I just want to let it be known that you know, this isn't governed by or evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. I don't know, it's kind of awkward no matter how you say it, but just let people know that you're not there to diagnose, treat, or cure, or prevent any diseases. Even though, you know, we understand that the products might actually help the body be healthy enough to do that itself. Now in Australia, you don't have the FDA, so you can replace that with regulatory authorities, maybe. Anyways, it's the best practice. It's not required, but there's something that you can put on your claims. So that is a lot to remember, and I understand that. Look, I can make that easier. Just remember these simple things. Don't claim to cure or prevent diseases. Don't claim to be a replacement for a drug. Use approved claims from dōTERRA's material, from the approved claims list. If it's print and produced by dōTERRA, feel free that you can be confident in using that. So when do you need to use approved claims? Anytime. Anytime you talk about dōTERRA products in any way, online, in classes, on printed material, everywhere, even underwater, or on the bus or the train or whatever. So that's when you use approved claims. Okay? So that's approved claims. The next we're going to talk about the use of dōTERRA's trademarks. Okay, so this is dōTERRA's policy. It applies to wellness advocates everywhere, regardless of what jurisdiction you live in, right? This has to do with, well, let's first define trademarks, right? A trademark or trade dress. A trademark is the name or image that is associated with a product or range of products. Trademarks help people identify, the public, that is, identify trusted producers. Trademark laws prevent third parties from taking advantage of someone's reputation or violating this acquired trust. So you can't just grow distill essential oils in your backyard and put the name dōTERRA on it and put it out to the public. Public's going to say, oh, dōTERRA, I can trust that. Can't do that. That would be a violation of trademark. Trade dress, by the way, means any images, color schemes, product appearance that is used to represent a product in a way that is produced by a certain producer. So here are some of the common trademarks by dōTERRA: CPTG, Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, the name dōTERRA itself. All of the blend oils are actually trademarked. Aroma touch technique, any of the bottles, the names. A good question to ask is, if it's obvious from this word, phrase, or image that you're talking about dōTERRA, it's probably a trademark or a trade dress. When can't we use dōTERRA trademarks? Well, I'm glad you asked. There's a really great resource called the Visual Representation of the dōTERRA Compliance Policy, and we're going to go over that right now in detail. You can see in each different form online. Now we're talking about online because if you prepare some material in print, for instance a flyer for a class or something, you are allowed to use trademarks. You're allowed to use trademarks in your emails as well. But when you're marketing online, this is where the limitations come in. So look at static websites. There are not a lot of things that you can do. You can use approved claims, and you can talk about essential oils generically. However, on social media and online training, there's a lot more stuff that you can do with the trademarks, with the use of trademarks. Obviously, you can't use disease claims in any of these areas. I just need to define tags and meta tags here. Right there it says no. Tags and meta tags are information that's built into the website saying what this website is about. Sometimes it's not even viewable on the website itself. It's what helps web pages be searched by search engines and indexed. Helps people find the web page. So you might be able to use dōTERRA's trademark and name in a social media, for instance, but you can't put it in the tags and meta tags, the descriptions of that social media site. So, and you can't name your social media site after dōTERRA or using any of dōTERRA's trademarks. And when it comes to online training, it's essentially the same as social media. You have roughly the same freedoms there. And we're going to go into these in greater depth now. So, in a nutshell, just to kind of make it more easily what you need to remember, if you have a website, you can't refer to or link to dōTERRA. Social media and online training is much more free. Okay, now we've covered two of the hard boundaries. If you have any more questions on what you can and can't do, what you can't do, you can refer to the compliance policy FAQ, frequently asked questions. But we're not going to spend any more time on what you can't do. We want to spend as much time as possible on things that you can do. So what are the possibilities? What are the things that you can do? There are actually a lot of opportunities that are open to you while still staying compliant. First of all, your social media website, Facebook page, for instance, needs to be brought up to par. You can't use dōTERRA's name in the name of your Facebook group or Facebook page, or even your personal page. You can't say Sally, Joe, Merriweather, dōTERRA. So you have to clean all that up. You can't use the trademarks or pictures. So there you go. You can say Sally. And you can start to use compliant images. dōTERRA themselves produces a lot. You can get off of dōTERRA's website. There's some pre-approved, pre-prepared posts that you can put onto your social media, whether it's Pinterest or those other ones. You can get those, download them, post them up. You can make your own. You can use dōTERRA's trademarks as long as you're using approved claims. And you can see here, we've talked about the product of the month there, and we just copied and pasted from approved claims. A really fantastic way to keep people up to date. And of course, when you're preparing print materials, or if you're posting a flyer about your upcoming class. I see everybody got the flyer for this presentation today, and thank you for your attendance. You can use dōTERRA trademarks in there as well. Okay, so the next thing is your replicated website. This replicated website you can send people to if they want to buy dōTERRA products at a retail value. You can send them here. And you can see I've ripped off Snow White's copyright image of Snow White there. Look, people can also join through your website here. You can, as long as you're using approved claims in some of the about me information and stuff, that's okay. All right, you can also link to this website. At the bottom of your email, you can put a link to your replicated website if you want to send people to that. Okay, email. So you can, when you email people, you can quote dōTERRA. You can quote all the things that dōTERRA does. You can talk about products. You can, of course, you still need to use approved claims. There's no time when you can use claims that are not approved. But you can't have your email address have the name of dōTERRA in it. For instance, I love dōTERRA@gmail.com, or I love dōTERRA more. So you have to take those off of your email. All right. And business cards. You can use dōTERRA trademarks when you're creating your business cards. That's completely acceptable. Online training, when you put together like a web, not a web page, but materials that you share online with people through Dropbox or Google or whatever like that. You can put together some training online where people, you know, they can log in and they can access all your training materials. You can use Skype, you can record webinars, you can hold Facebook classes, and in all of these you can use dōTERRA's trademarks, except for tags and meta tags. You can even keep your recordings there in a archived your training videos, as long as that archive website is not hosted on a static website. That is, that people need to log in and to be able to access that. So these things can't be used for marketing purposes. They're used to train your staff. Now, things we can do also includes printed handouts. You can make handouts there, printed. You can use dōTERRA's names and pictures of the products. As long as you're using approved claims, there's no problem. And your imagination is your limit. You can just simply copy and paste what each oil or what each product does onto whatever you're producing for your class. So now I want to talk about static websites. Who of you uses one of these resources? Whether it be websites, blogs, YouTube, Vimeo, etc. If you do, there's an easy way to bring these up to compliance. All the rules are the same. So let's review the compliance policy again. On the first column there, basically the only things you can do are use approved claims and talk about essential oils in a generic way. So we're going to do that. Now you might think, oh, how can you talk about dōTERRA essential oils without using the word dōTERRA? How can you sell dōTERRA oils on your website? Well, you're not supposed to sell on your website, but you can use your website to generate leads, to bring people or get people to contact you so you can sell to them over the telephone or through email or in person. Using YouTube videos or Vimeo videos, whatever videos, you can make a lot of these videos. Speak about essential oils generally. You can use generic names for the blends, such as the names that are found in the Modern Essentials book. You can use generic names for the other products, toothpaste, laundry detergent, whatever. The bottles also need to be generic. Remember, you can't use trade dress, so you can't use a dōTERRA bottle. You can take the label off and then use that bottle. Yeah. Just share your love for essential oils in a generic way, and stress that the essential oils that you love are those that are certified pure and that have been sourced for their therapeutic value, and that if those watching your video would like you to recommend any essential oils brands that use that, then feel free to give them your contact details, have them contact you, and you can actually help them in a much greater way. This is a lead generation principle. A lot of big corporations use this, work in a similar manner. A lot of corporations post information online only as a teaser only. The idea of the information that they post online is to get you to call into their call center so that one of their trained staff could transform your call into a sale. So they post just enough information online to intrigue you, to get you to call in. Once you call in, then their staff then, start to explain the products in a more in a better manner that's suited to the person who's asking the questions. They can ask questions. They can give support right then from the beginning. So you need to be confident that you can sell essential oils better than an inanimate website that is just there, as a face. Your ability to teach people and answer their questions improves dramatically once you have them on the phone or once you have begun email correspondence with them. You'll capture more of the leads of people that are coming onto your website. If they're interested, if they feel your passion for the oils, they'll call you and communicate to you. If this is one of the ways that you're generating leads, really there's no other reason to have a website except to educate people about essential oils and help them use essential oils in their daily life. So it also provides a much greater customer experience rather than giving them a link to your replicator website where they can join. If you're there from the beginning, you're able to point them to, give them some advice of the essential oils and help lead them on to, whatever they need. I know some of you may be thinking that, you might have a site out there that's helps people learn about essential oils, and maybe it's easy to send them to that site to learn about different oils. We just need to change the way that you're doing that. dōTERRA's website has improved greatly in the last little while. All of our people can go straight there to learn about the products. You can encourage people to come to your classes, your product classes, to learn more. You just operate within there's so many things that you can actually do operating within the limits of compliance. Here are some ideas. You can speak about essential oil or related products, cooking classes with essential oil. You can go through recipes. You can show things that you're making, and just make sure that you tell people that these are certified pure oils that are sourced for their therapeutic benefit, and that they need to contact you personally if they want some recommendations on which brand they should use, and that when you're cooking them, stress that they have to be those certain oils that you can use for cooking that can be ingested. You can make videos about applying essential oils or using essential oils generically, about storing for, if you built a shelf for your essential oils, you can make a video about that, or caring for your essential oils, making them last longer or keeping them more potent longer, or any other essential oil related themes. And by that I mean, here's a video that I created with my daughters using old essential oil bottles as salt and pepper shakers that they can take and use. Our kids take their lunches to school, they can use in their school lunches. They just have little salt and pepper shakers made from old essential oil bottles. It doesn't teach people about essential oils, but it does get the essential oil theme out there in the public. Next, we want to talk about static websites. By static websites, we mean that any website that stays there. It doesn't move. All you have, anybody surfing the web can stumble upon it. If people know the address, they can easily access it. These are websites you don't have to log into or become a member to be able to access. So these static websites are under the same compliance rules that videos are. Again, you can do the same things. You can have a blog about how to use essential oils generically. I remember a few years ago that we attended a global convention, and that one of the girls there who had become Diamond had done so simply by using social media, her Facebook site, her blog. She had a blog, and she blogged about all these sorts of natural solutions for cooking and everything. She got introduced to the essential oils, and she used essential oils on her blog and taught people about that. And she would get a lot of leads from people contacting her, wanting to know more about the essential oils that she used. And so it can be a a finding tool for you as well. Now, if you're going to create a static website, like just simply a website, just need to remember to use approved claims, and you can only talk about essential oils in a generic fashion, which means that you don't talk about dōTERRA's brand, you don't use dōTERRA's brand in any way, so that if people are searching for the word dōTERRA, your website does not come up in a search. The principles are the same. The information you post online, use it as a teaser only. Be confident that that information that you post online on your website, people calling you or contacting you about that, you'll have a better ability to sell them on essential oils than your website will. And that you'll be able to capture more leads. There are people that may never call, and whereas they might have signed up in another way, but if you're putting it out there just to get, it's just a tool that you have to grab leads. There's a lot of things you can do on a static website. You can give advice about essential oils. You have how-tos, DIYs, post recipes, general essential oil information, how to care for your oils or store them. The sky's the limit. And you can talk about the sky as well, or make an essential oil blend called the sky and talk about that. It's really pretty exciting, all the things you can do about essential oils. As compliance just means operating within those boundaries, but there's a lot of things that are still available for you to do without, outside those, still staying within those boundaries that are not bounded. Okay, so you might be asking, where does that leave us? You might have a website, you might have a YouTube channel or something. You just need to go in and clean up the content that you already have. Remember to use approved claims. Remove any trademarks or trade dress. If you have a video that's not compliant, you can either take it down, redo the video. If there's good content in the video and it's just not compliant because it uses the trademarks, well, maybe you can use it for training. If it can be used for training, then it might fit into that training category, and you can put it in a web archive for training that's not hosted on a static website. All right, so I hope you feel that you have a better understanding of what compliance is, what your boundaries are, what you can and can't do, and what the possibilities are with compliance. Well, thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you think that I could explain something in more depth, let me know that as well. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope that you benefited from this. And that's it. Thank you.